Hello, this is Jamie Magridge. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'd like to show you how I made this card. It's all stamping and a little bit of die cutting. So let's get started. Okay, what you're going to need a scratch piece of Whisper White, or you could use Very Vanilla if you'd rather. A 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Very Vanilla. A 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 inch piece of Very Vanilla, and a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 scored and folded at 4 1/4 of Very Vanilla. I'm going to be using Celebrate Sunflowers. I'm going to be using this flower, this leaf, and I've cut the Let's off of the Let's Celebrate You, and I'm just going to use this Celebrate You. I'm going to be using this stamp here, and then these two stamps from Textured Essentials. For colors, I have Bumblebee, Sahara Sand, Seaside Spray, Memento, and then to color the flowers, I've got Cajun Craze Combo, the Mango Melody Combo, Dark Old Olive Combo, or the Old Olive Combo, Dark Pumpkin Pie, and Dark Real Red. Okay, and actually I think I'm going to use this piece here and to stamp my flowers on and cut them out. I just have to keep them away from the edge. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use the 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 inch piece one to stamp my flowers out of. So let's do that first. Bring in the flower and the Memento ink, because I think it'd look better with the Very Vanilla, but we'll see. And this is a large stamp, so I'm going to ink it this way. It's just easier for me to hold the small stamp pad rather than the large block. Make sure it's inked up well. I'll stamp it down. Make sure I'm enough away from the edge that when I cut it out, it's not going to show. Okay. Now let's bring in the leaf. I need 3 of those. Again, just staying away from that edge a little bit. Awesome. Okay. So I'm done with the oh, no, I'm not, because I still have to stamp the sentiment, but let's move it up here. Okay. So I'm going to color these. And I'm going to start by adding the dark color. I'm going to start by with the dark real red, and I'm just going to do a flicking motion. I'm going to hold it almost, I guess sort of like you do a pencil, and I'm just going to flick it. So I'm going to start at the base, put the pen down, and flick it so that it gets this. See how it's thicker at the base and then it gets thinner at the top? And I'm just going to do that around the base of each one of these petals. I'm kind of following the dark lines that are up in there from the Illustrator. And I find I can't flick towards me well. I have to turn the paper and flick away from me. So practice and figure out what works for you and move your paper accordingly. Alright. Almost done here, sorry. It's just going to take a little bit longer because this one it has the, it's not really shading, but it is. It's just variations in color. Almost done here. I gotta remember to try to speak up a little bit because I noticed I sound like I'm mumbling sometimes. We just get in the groove and relax into it and don't realize I'm mumbling. Okay, then I'm going to come in with the pumpkin pie and I'm going to do the same thing. Some of it'll overlap the red, some of it'll extend past the red. So I'm not starting all the way at the base, I'm starting like part way into the red. Alright, I'm going to pause it, and when I get done with this step, I'll be right back. I'm done with that. Now I'm going to come in with a little bit of the Cajun Craze, and I'm going to do the center here. I'm not going to do the whole center, but I want to do around the edges, and I want it to be swirly and not, see how it's not a straight line, it's kind of swirly. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with the dark Mango Melody, and I'm going, oh, I need a new Mango Melody. And I'm going to color the majority of the rest of this leaves. Hear how it's squeaking? I think I need a new Mango Melody. I think I'm running out of ink in it. And I'm going to do this whole center. Sorry for the squeaking. Okay, then I'm going to come in with the light, and I'm going to color the whole thing. I'm just going to color over the entire thing. Just have to be a little bit careful around these tips so I don't go outside the lines. Make sure I have every little area colored in. Oops. Outside the line there a little bit. It's alright. It's because I'm trying to hurry here. So this video isn't half an hour long. Just a little bit more here. Okay. I'm going to go into the leaves and I'm going to pick, see this spot here on the leaves where there's not much shading? I'm going to go in and just scribble in a little bit of this yellow in there. And this is the light Mango Melody. And I'm going to come in with my Old Olive. And I'm going to take the dark one. I'm just going to flick it in the center here. Flick it up the line in the center. I'm not doing exact or perfect. I'm just kind of getting some dark color in there. And then I'm going to color over the entire thing with the light. And adding that yellow underneath is going to give you another color. All right. The tip of this is kind of beat, so I'm going to come in with a little tip and get towards the edges. Did order a new one, but I don't really want to open it until I can't use this one. Okay. Now I'm going to take the dies that go with it. I'm going to line them up and run it through my die cutting machine. I just got to kind of find, there's a deep, there it is. See how this one's deeper? You kind of have to kind of find it on your die. I had it a second ago, didn't I? There it is. Okay, so line them up and run it through your die cut machine, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now I do need this piece as well, because that's that background piece. Let's put these dies away so I don't misplace them or lose them. And let's make this background. Put these aside. Bring in the 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece. And I'm going to turn this way because I need a little bit of overlap here. Okay. Is it still in frame? Sort of. I'll just cover my name up. Okay, I'm going to start with the Seaside spray. This is a new ink pad, and it must have been really, really filled because see how it leaks? Alright, and I'm going to bring in this texture one. This looks like textile. I'm going to ink it up. Okay. Not inking in the center for some reason. There we go. Alright. Now I'm going to start here on this left side, and I'm going to divide it into thirds basically, and I'm just going to stamp this all the way down that page. I might turn it. It overlaps, that's alright. One more time down here. Okay. Alright. Now I'm going to do this. Well, let's do the center first. Done with that Seaside spray. Let's come in with the Bumblebee. Come on. Thank you. I'm going to ink this up. And I'm going to stamp it in this center section here. It's going to overlap a little bit of the blue, that's fine. And then I'm going to hop it around to kind of fill in a little bit of color along the back. to stamp it again down here. And again, I'm going to hop it around a little bit, add a little bit of more color on behind it because it was just a little too stark behind it. Doesn't need much on this side. Okay. Now I'm going to come in with the Sahara sand and the script from the, I think it's Very Versailles. Yeah. And I'm going to stamp this down on the right side of the page. Okay, so that's our background. Now we'll bring in the sentiment and the Menento ink. And I'm going to stamp that up here in this top, right across these two sections here. It's about an inch from the top, a quarter inch from the right. Perfect. All right. Now we can assemble this card. All right. The first thing I'm going to do is add this to this layer that we cut all those flowers out of. So I just need glue around the edges of it. I'm going to use my Tombow Mono Multi glue. Just going to add a little on here. Center that up on there. It's just going to be a very small border. Alright. Now I'm going to adhere this to the front of our card base. Again, there's just the tiniest little border. Just like the little bit of that border, it just added something to the card. Okay, let me get this out of the way so you can actually see what I'm doing here. Okay, now let's bring in these pieces that we colored. Two of the leaves are going to get dimensionals on the back. Sunflower is going to get dimensionals on the back of it. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is figure out where I want my sunflower to go. Take those backs off there. Try it with this again. I'm getting better, but I still don't get it every time. Alright, I think I want it to go like here, like that. This one leaf is going to go here, so let's glue it down flat. These other two okay, one leaf will go here, popped up. And down a little more, like there. This one will go down here. Okay. Now you could be done with it here. This card I added a few of these metallic pearls in the center. So let's go ahead and do that. I am going to use my take your pick tool for this because you just pick them up and set them where you want them. I find it quite easy. 3 clustered together there, and I scattered a couple over here on this area over here, just to draw your eye around the page.
There you go. There's the card we just made together. Here's the one I did previously. Well, thank you for joining me at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper.